Hello and welcome back to Moonbase MGTOW, your refuge from the big blue pill planet with red pills that are out of this world. Thank you very much for visiting my channel today, and today's topic will be 41 articles celebration responding to comments. So I've been gone for a while if you're from BitChute and YouTube, but I've been very busy on some other platforms. I've been re-uploading all my videos onto MGTOW TV and backing up my articles on PublishOX. So that's why I've been gone for so long, but I'm happy to be back now, and thank you again for being here. And I thought it was a great time to just take a pause and review all the comments that I've gotten since then. So yep, here we go. First off, I got a shout out Filski1. He says, you've got great content and enjoyed your show as always. And he was the first comment right after my 10 videos, 25 articles celebration. And then he came back to hype me up on fears of leaving monk mode. And, you know, once again, I'm not happy about not publishing since last month, but now that I'm back at 41 articles, I think I'm going to make a better effort to start catching up all my videos up to that number as well. So, yeah, I'm back, and I'll be back again soon with some more original content, and I hope you're still around. So thank you very much, Filski1. And then we have Primal Tees. He liked my minimalism and mental mobility video. He says interesting video. And then we have Brian K. Leaks, who also liked it on YouTube. And you know, maybe I should have asked why they were so intrigued and thankful for the video. But yeah, I hope you guys see this and let me know. So thank you. So now we have some funny comments. Why are you an idiot? He leaves me a very beautiful poem on my only dating for status video. And it reads, I went through a phase of having many women like me. God knocked me over the head because I was getting too cocky. I have now returned to my status of regular guy, and not gonna lie, if a girl can't accept that, she's retarded. You know, I'm quite speechless from that, actually. So thank you very much. And then we have Smart Alya. I think he's another one of those guys who comments without actually watching the video, which sucks because this was on the Is There More to Life video, which is one of my favorites. But yep, he does leave pretty funny clips in the links about Muslim husbands, how they keep their wives in check, and how Islam supports the whole system. But later on, I tell him, you know, be careful with all those links, and he pretty much says the algorithm is censoring him. But I think in this case, it's actually fair, because if you're posting so many links, I think it's fair to be suspicious of that. So be mindful of that, guys. I think no more than 2 links. So yeah, but thanks again, guys. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to some article comments, because most of my comments come from my video channels. So before I get to them, I'd like to highlight some feedback from my blog site, since we are celebrating the progress I've made there after all. So these comments are from Publish0x or PublishOX. It's a new blogging site that actually pays you in crypto for reading and writing articles. So I've been backing up all my content there, and I've been slightly revising some of the stories as well, so it's pretty cool. So you should follow me there as well. But Ariels says on my 2 questions to end old habits article, she says, cool advice, thanks for sharing. I wish my 7-year-old could already understand this and give up some of her iPad gameplay and YouTube time, but for now I'll have to find other methods of persuasion and inspiration. The donut example is great too. Yeah, I definitely agree. And I respond by telling her that, you know, my nephew is 5 and he's in the same camp, but you know, kids need other kids to play with, otherwise it's pretty boring. So I'm not really too upset about him playing on the iPad. But yeah, I mean, when looking back, I don't regret all the video games I played, because I'm a game designer now and fiction writer. So I took all the, you know, I took all that stimulation and used it for my imagination. So, but yeah, I do wish I slowed down sooner and not wasted my money on new games and consoles. Like I bought the Nintendo Switch. It's pretty cool, but you know, I should have saved my money. I sold so many other good games just to get it, and I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, so thanks a bunch for your comment. And I don't think kids are never gonna think on the same level that we do. I don't think they have this sort of foresight. But the only problem I personally have with kids playing video games is that iPads and phones give off way too much EMF radiation. But yeah, I at least grew up with brothers, so we were able to play with toys and make believe and stuff like that if we didn't play any video. So, but with the low birth rate nowadays, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of kids growing up alone, and that's kind of boring. But I did play way too many video games when I was younger, though. In middle school, I played so much Monster Hunter and Gym that my school was shocked when I was on the winning relay race team that won us a trophy. And my friends were on that team too. So like all the nerds were actually like some of the most athletic people. And then, you know, high school came around and I got Xbox Live. And yeah, things really went far away there. I didn't learn how to play basketball until after I got kicked out of college. So, but yeah, if I could go back though, I would still keep all the games that I played, but I would definitely cut back on academics and increase the amount of sports that I played. You know, I did end up being valedictorian though, so I was good at academics, and it was, you know, it was a pretty cool experience. But honestly, if I would have just stuck with track and field, I could have been a star and went to college on scholarship anyway. And yeah, I probably would have been a lot more healthy person and not hung out with the kind of people I did in college. So, but I mean, that's if I could go back. I wouldn't regret it because, you know, this all fast tracked me to MGTOW, so I'm going to keep it that way. But yeah, game design and fiction is all I have now, so I hope I can be ingenious in that field too. Otherwise, you know, I've completely squandered my life and I'm supremely fucked. So thank you, Ariels. Then we have it started to come out as bi rather than gay. Snarfy says, interesting and thought-provoking. He's always argued that everyone is innately bi and nurtured throughout life and defines which sex you like more. Lucky are the ones that are able to see and accept both sides. So I think that's crazy. So I told him, yeah, if I had to disagree, like I would be leaning on evolution, and I just don't see the gains in a strategy like that, you know, because I think pheromones are actually a real thing. So we actually do have, we do have, you know, some biology that attracts us to, that attracts the opposite sex to each other. But, you know, I think it's a good thing to play both sides. I think that's something I've been doing lately, and it's, you know, raised my IQ a lot. So if I had to agree, I do recall Milo Yiannopoulos saying gay people have higher IQs, and I've also said the human condition is not just about food and sex. So if we did have innate bisexuality, it might be a consequence of human creativity. And also the male G-spot is also inconveniently located in the forbidden zone. And going back to evolution, having a gay member puts a nice stopgap on overpopulation, and it could also support the current population. So I told him to look at the gay uncle theory or older brother effect to see some studies on that already. And he says he appreciates the follow-up and my take on this. He was worried that no one would reply or have input, and he just says my theory is very hard, but it makes complete sense, totally possible. And honestly, Snarfy, I was the one that thought no one would reply. I should be the one having this fear, because actually that article got 2 downvotes. So yeah, I'm the one that should definitely be thankful. But yeah, I mean, we don't know how far back the LGBT goes in history and evolution, but you know, if we do live in a sick society today because, you know, it's so prevalent now, I would at least like LGBT to be treated as a symptom of society's sickness rather than a cause for it, you know? It's a symptom of it. But I'm also sure that these, you know, pronatal religious breeders have never considered the exponential growth of the human population, and I think that's the real sickness. So I don't think many people realize they should be grateful some people are pairing off into genetic dead ends. But yep, thanks again, Snarfy. And then we have Wooden Wookie on my whyiquitmedium.com and think the site will die article. Actually, my most upvoted and most tipped story on Publish OX. he says that he left for the same reasons and he wasn't getting any readers, and he felt there was no point in paying for it. He liked the idea, and he just doesn't feel Medium is a great site anymore. He had a bad experience, and it means a lot for someone like him who's looking for sites to fill a real need. And PublishOX is starting to turn out well for him, and after just one article, he's working on his second, and I guess he needed a distraction, so he found my piece, which is cool. And he'll stick around for a bit and see how everything pans out. And currently he's on Steemit, but that seems like it's about to implode thanks to Justin's son, and I'm not sure what that means for the platform. I don't know anything about Steemit, so maybe I should follow up on that and see what exactly happened there. But yep. So yeah, Why Quit Medium is my actually my most upvoted and most tipped on story, and I honestly could have made a go of it on Medium, because 2 of my articles are almost 3K views, but you know, the site was just becoming a dumpster fire, to be honest. One of the last writers I followed he kind of knew it was a numbers game, so he was just like publishing multiple articles a day, and a lot of it was recycled content. So yeah, if you want to know more, definitely check out the article. I think it's pretty good. A pretty good, you know, breakdown of what's going on, and I've been on that site for a while, so you know, I have some history about a good perspective about how a newer member would experience it now, all the new changes. But I also never mentioned the political bias on that website. There's obviously a very social justice, left-leaning situation going on there, and that's another telltale of the longevity of the website. So the attention-based approach, though, that I have with my website, with the Brave browser, and also using PublishOX is definitely the way of the future. You know, everybody has ad blocker anyway, so it's about time somebody came up with a good idea to capitalize on that. And yep, I hated the subscription feature on Medium since the start, so yeah, it was only a matter of time until I left. So thanks, Wooden Wookie. So now I have a few standalone comments, and we have Sentient Verity comments on my is the 80-20 rule in dating bogus. He was asking about that I had the paid model on MGTOW TV already, and I didn't have any subscribers yet. So he was just trying to figure out, like, why would I do that if nobody knows me? And yeah, basically he's saying respect is earned, not inherited. So what did I have to offer that is of value? And honestly, this was actually a whole misunderstanding, because all of my uploads on MGTOW TV were accidentally behind a paywall for a while. So it was pretty cool actually for him to call me out on this and show some curiosity about what I had to offer, because it let me know that, you know, the problem existed. So I really appreciate that. My content should always be free though, but I do have some ideas for crowd-funded content in the future. Actually right now, I mean, if I raise $30, I'll write a short story about, you know, the Chad versus Virgin meme. So, and then if I get more money on that, I would find an artist and make like a little manga type of thing. So, but yeah, in the meantime though, if you ever have any topic that you would like me to cover in both article and video format, you can definitely go over to Ko-fi.com and buy me a coffee. And the standard price is $3. You could make it lower if you pay for the premium features and stuff, but yeah, I'm just going to keep it standard for now, because I mean, people pay more for that for like 30 seconds on the TFM show, so I don't think it hurts to ask. And plus, it's only there for the people that actually really love me. So and I also put some extra sweat and research going into any of my commissioned work. So, but yeah, thank you very much, Sentient Verity. And then we have Black Pill Belt Monkido. He says Warren Buffett is a villainous crook, and I honestly should have followed up on that as well, because I don't really know any of the crimes of Warren Buffett, and he can't be worse than George Soros, right? And then he comments on fears of leaving monk mode. He's been a monk for 3 years now and is about to achieve full-on nirvana nihilism throughout this pandemic. You know, speaking of enlightenment, I too have some thoughts on nihilism in this pandemic, and I'll give you a sneak peek. I think the article will be called On the Surface of the Soul, and I teased that also in my last article, but I think I'll write it after this whole thing blows over, because I kind of hate bandwagons. So thank you, Black Pill Belt Monkito. And then we have Vulcan Cannon comments on ask these 2 questions to end old habits, reorganize life. I've always loved helping people and seeing them become more. I've reviewed all of my errors, bad choices, and mistakes in life. My conclusion is that I will no longer help women like I used to. Now I will be focusing only on me and my career. My charitable time will be for helping men and guiding men only. As one country singer said, beer never broke my heart. I would also add that beer and best friends have never hurt my account like women have. So I love helping people too, actually, and maybe a little bit too much. So, if you're my friend, you really should be careful about telling me your goals, because I would actually be there to like help you and make sure you see it through to the fullest. So you definitely can't slack in my eyes. I'll hold you accountable to your goals. But yeah, working in food and retail though killed any chance of me becoming a simp. Some places only the men are required to work the stockroom, and women get the same pay as us, and they're mostly just doing cashier. So yeah, I thought that was, once that happened, I was like, man, this is a rigged game. But a supermarket I worked at was actually very egalitarian. It didn't matter which gender you were required to do all the work. So I always reminded the women there that we had the same pay, so I wasn't going to do any extra work for them, and help them out and do favors. So that was always cool. But by the way, speaking of beer, I like Blue Moon and Guinness personally, but I can say that Natural Ice, aka Natty Ice, and Golden Monkey are 2 beers that have actually hurt me. So thank you, Vulcan Cannon. And then we have Old Wolf 207. I believe this is on the Big John video that I did. He says he's been MGTOW since before TFM had a channel, and he hasn't grown one bit, just keeps repeating himself. Sandman has always been a pandering whore. Lycus, Stardust, Barbarossa, and Spetsnaz were the best and still are. And with a smattering of brilliant content from people like Karen Strawn, Razorblade Candy, RGE, Lazarus, and MGTOW Solution did an excellent series on YouTube. Alright, so let me just say TFM was actually the guy that got me into MGTOW, and it happened after his episode on the Redman Group, and I was a fan of the Redman Group at the time, but I just couldn't argue against TFM's logic. So yeah, I've been going my own way ever since. And months later, the Redman Group, or maybe like a year later actually, the Redman Group started shaming men with who use sex dolls and stuff, and they didn't even have the balls to invite TFM again, who's like the spokesperson for all that. So they are truly a pathetic group. And but I'm not a TFM fanboy. I think the only reason why you think he keeps repeating himself is because he produces so much content along with Sandman, and I personally enjoy Sandman because he can see the future literally with his precognitive dreaming, but also he's always theorizing about the next trends, and he got me on the Brave browser as well, which has worked out pretty nicely. So I guess he repeats himself a lot more than TFM would, I suppose, but I just watch to get those small nuggets of special information that I feel like Sandman is the only one that's on top of. But I have checked out the archives here and there on that MGTOW Mountain Rushmore that the guy mentioned of Lycus, Stardust, Barbarossa, and who was it? Spetsnaz. But I still actively watch the Thinking Ape channel, but he's kind of long-winded sometimes. But yeah, my favorite MGTOW nowadays are definitely Happy Humble Hermit, Renegade #1, Ronin Man, which is kind of a wild card, and Red Pill on steroids, and also Coach Greg Adams is pretty dope as well. But I would like to also say rest in peace Kurama, aka Tachi Reloaded, aka Snake, aka Red Pill Stoic, aka whatever the hell else he was before that. Actually, the video that was in order to be recorded now was actually it was like a love letter to Itachi MGTOW. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a video on that, because some of the things that I said there were, I'm not sure if I 100% still feel the same, but it's still a very good article, so I might leave it on my website just as a, you know, a hidden treasure. I have a bunch of other stuff on my website that I don't make into videos, like some of my health updates and stuff like that, so I might just leave it there. I'll see, but I'm happy to give him a shout out here right now in this video as one of my favorite MGTOWs of all time. So thanks a lot, Old Wolf 207. Then we have MGTOW Lucid Dream, who comments on only dating for status. MGTOW is freedom, and I totally agree. My MGTOW way is definitely to make every effort to keep yourself unbound, because self-sufficiency is one of the ultimate goods. So thank you, MGTOW Lucid Dream, and that's a very dope username. And speaking of MGTOW's freedom, let's talk about Big John. So Mr. X calls Big John, what does he say here? He says, short and sweet asshat. When John bent over to Lisa Ling, that was pretty much a wrap on his credibility and ability to stand for his principles. He folded like a cheap suit. But then Black Belt Monkito responds, Big John is the champion of MGTOW. He helped us all prepare with everything by guiding us video by video. So I'm not going to put my 2 cents in there. I'll let them duke it out there. But honestly, I've never really watched any of Big John's content. I just used that one segment for my argument against Rollo Tomasi's article. So, but honestly, I think Mr. X is another guy who comments without actually watching the video. I think he just saw Big John and was just like, screw this, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. But Silent Verity is back with a very sobering speech on the state of affairs in the manosphere. He says, I think anyone who shows their face is a moron because it can always bite them in the ass later. On another note, I'm glad the POAs are finally calming down. All these guys seeked is money for their stuff, and yes, for a while I thought of them as allies in red pilling men until the Me Too stuff started destroying men and the PUAs kept running their scams on unsuspecting men who eventually got Me Too'd due to their games. So MGTOW really is the last resort in times like these. MGTOW is knowing where the trends are leading so we can better predict the future and what to do in these trying times as men. So I wholeheartedly agree. And I never understood actually why Rollo Tomasi and the Red Man Group would rag on RSD, you know. I suppose it was just marketing for them to differentiate themselves, but you know, to us MGTOW, there's no difference between them. And even before I was MGTOW, I knew that I started to notice that there were a lot of guys in these, you know, pickup groups that were actually pretty logical, and I think they just wanted a simple life, maybe a girlfriend or a wife later down the road. But these POA teachers were just like setting them up for consumerism and sex addiction. And now that we have Me Too, they're setting them up for divorce and false rape accusations. So no thanks. We are going our own way. So thank you all, guys. And even if, you know, MGTOW do disagree, like Mr. X, yeah, I still appreciate that comment a lot. So yeah, I like the diversity in opinion. So thanks. So let's talk about productivity now. And I am probably not going to read all of this, but Mind Rape Art says he's figured out a way to work 10 hours a day without ever stopping. Basically, he just sums it up with ergonomic tools and nootropics and endurance supplements and something that you enjoy doing. And I just shared a little bit of my experience with nootropics. And yeah, they actually worked when I did have that supermarket job. You know, I was like ringing up a bunch of items at a time. Like, it was crazy. So, yeah, so they worked for me then, but so basically, I'm not going to read all this, but he gives away like all his secrets here. And if you want, you can pause it here, or you can go on my website. I have the picture there too. So if you want to keep that. So, I'm happy that he did that. But personally though, I realized I don't want the extra edge that badly. I feel like any performance enhancements that you take, especially including nootropics and caffeine in a way, it's just like stealing from your own body in some way. That's just the way I feel about it, you know, like slowly taking like minutes and hours away off your lifespan, like just sneakily, you know. That's what I feel like it is. It's like you're taking more life, you're adding on extra life in the moment, like that. It's got to have some sort of consequence later, but that's just my hunch. But yeah, I'd much rather try to cultivate a force from within, like, you know, David Goggins and stuff like that, right? He just works out with no music and all that and motivates himself. So that's the way I'd like to do it, and it's been working out for me. Actually today I've worked nearly 7 hours straight, so I've only got up for like tiny snacks in the bathroom, and that's it. And it's been quite satisfying to, you know, constantly evaluate my progress and finally develop a strategy that keeps me working for so long, and I'm getting better at it every day. So, but the advice is still here for all of you if you want to try hard it, and you just got to get it right away. And then MGTOW's Monk, he comments that the average worker is productive for about 3 hours out of an 8-hour workday, and his goal is to work as little as possible with a job that pays well, like data science or something in tech, and it'll allow him to do the things that he really enjoys in his free time. He just wants to live simple but comfortably. For him, there's no walls. His stress level is at 0. And that's great. And honestly, we had the same idea. I was also very interested in data science, but I don't think it's going to be as little work as he thinks it's going to be. But hey, if he knows more than me, then good for him. But yeah, right now I'm self-employed, and but if I do return to school, I was also considering the teacher route, like Happy Humble Hermit. The pay isn't great, but you know, I'm a minimalist, so it doesn't really matter. But I can also have the entire summer off to work full-time on, you know, this channel and my other projects. So, but yeah, overall though, you know, I gotta say, like, it is kind of sad that I'm 26 years old and I still don't have a clear career path. You know, I was supposed to be working on this for what, 8 years, since I was 18 or so, maybe before that, maybe 10 years. I was supposed to have this all planned out. But you know, it is kind of sad on one end because of that, but on the other hand, a career is not the end all be all. That's very blue pill. I know what I really am passionate about and want to do. You know, I love art, and I love working on this channel too, and video editing and all that. So I'm doing what I want to do right now. I just need a little something to pay the bills and, you know, funnel extra money into the projects until they're self-sustainable. So yeah, it's just a means to an end. So career doesn't really matter. That's some blue pill stuff. And I also thank them for mentioning the productive for only 3 out of 8 hours comment. That made me feel better about my current pace, which was a month ago, according to this. But yeah, my current job tracks every single second working, and I forget how much improvised break time we all have at regular jobs. That's definitely true. The problem with working from home is that, yeah, your all of your progress is tracked intensely. So yeah, if I was still working in retail or something, like, yeah, we can work slower and still get through the day, but I have like a quota and numbers to match, so it doesn't work for me. But yep, and then Mind Rape Art comes back to stun on us. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. And oh yeah, I've also just wanted to add that I don't think I might be going back. I don't think I'm gonna be going back to college, really. Right now I'm just focused on becoming debt free. I don't want to pick up any more student loan debt. So, and I don't qualify for financial aid, so it would be pretty expensive. But yeah, I actually do have just one more semester, and I would finish my associates. So I guess I'll probably do that eventually and just call it a night. So thanks. Okay, so yeah, this has been going on for a while, but we are at the final topic, and we're going to be talking about NoFap and semen retention. So Zeal, I don't know where he actually commented on this, yeah, because I've been writing about it so much recently. But he says, I think this was on MGTOW TV though, so it could have been the 30 days NoFap episode. But yeah, he says he's on a streak since the start of this year. Best of luck on your journey. So I remind him that it is an old article, and I did make it up to day 129, but today's day 30 of my new hard mode streak once again, so thank you and best of luck to you as well. Well, I think, yeah, that was 2 months ago, and then I think I'm at like day 89 or something. Hold on. Yeah, I'm at day 81 of NoFap since then, and then, but you know, I did like, there is a little bit of cheating going on in between there, so the previous NoFap streaks would still be, I would still be watching a little bit of the hub on the side and maybe edging a little bit. So there was a little bit of cheating going on. So actually right now, since that was 2 months ago, it's day 81 now, but it's day 36 of my new sub streak of completely no like sexual imagery at all. So, but yeah, I hope you're doing well as well. Zeal. And then we have Crazy Diamond. He says, this has me thinking. I've always been restrictive with fapping, transferring my Christian guilt into yogic control. Then my therapist gave me permission to fap as much as I wanted to, avoid destructive encounters for sex, which made me question the real motivations behind my previous retention, and also how self-denial without focus can lead to craving and binging. I recently gave up weed, and the insomnia has me hooked on fapping more than ever in my life. The drug analogy makes total sense. I've nearly transferred my addiction from one form of dopamine hit to another. Thanks for your content. It really is helpful. Man, that is great to hear. You're freaking welcome, Crazy Diamond. So yeah, this was also the 40 days of NoPap road to self-mastery, because that's when I was talking about, you know, sex is just a drug and stuff like that. Because yeah, we get high off it, we have it come down, and then we need another hit, and we never question why. The ride never ends. That is so, I mean, that video, oh man, that video is so great. I'm like, it's my, I think it was my second video, so you know, the editing is like kind of choppy and stuff, but the content is just so solid. But yeah, he came to the same he came to the same realizations that I have. You know, despite the incredible draw from our sex drives, there's still a deeper dissatisfaction within us that doesn't allow us to control it, you know. He stopped smoking weed because he was hiding from it with that, and now he's just like, he can't control it anymore. The weed was like suppressing his emotions, and I also experienced the same thing, you know. When I tried to suppress my sexual desires, I started over consuming it in other vices so I could cover up that desire. So but now, you know, my sensual dispositions are much clearer to me now, and I hope you've read one of my latest articles, Into the Depths of Desire, Dry Fasting and NoFap Hard Mode, Monk Mode, and you could get the full scoop on that. Okay, so now we have X51. I believe he's also commenting on the same article, but I mean the same topic, but it was in article form on PublishOX. He says, mastery, oh wait, is this? Yeah, maybe. Mastery over self-control is okay, but have you considered the health impact of abstaining for so long? Studies have shown that 20 plus orgasms a month is optimal for prostate health. Any less increases the risk of future prostate problems. So I responded, I'm not sure the findings of those studies was actually that conclusive, especially since one of the more popular ones was a survey for older men. And I link a video to, what's his name? Go Jacket Luke. He also debunked the prostate health myths about NoFap and stuff, so you should check that out. But basically, yeah, use common sense. Frequent porn masturbation can cause erectile dysfunction in some men, so it's obviously bad. And frequent orgasm isn't necessary because celibate monks exist. So, and semen and sperm are actually not cheap resources to create, so it doesn't make sense for your body to have a built-in self-destruct system if you don't orgasm. So it probably does get reabsorbed if you don't expel it. Yeah, because come on, seriously, it's like, yeah, if you don't nut, you're just going to get prostate cancer and die. Like, what is that? Why is your body going to do that? I think what's more likely is, yeah, like your body would actually reabsorb it and try to make you, I don't know, more attractive or more healthier, because I don't know, they need you to reproduce, so I'm gonna make this body as healthy as it can so it can pass on, and not just I'm going to kill it because you're not reproducing. How cruel is that? But But I mean, if he is right, it is probably a harmful thing for the layman, you know. But I'm definitely not a layman, as I practice qigong, and I know of much healthier ways to have sex without orgasm. So going this path, you know, talking about all these esoteric practices is definitely a red pill. So I'm gonna stop here before I scare him. Yeah, he doesn't want to go to the rabbit hole down with me, so I just leave it there and say thank you. And yeah, I mean, pretty much I just had to demonstrate to X51 that I arrived to all my esoteric beliefs through logical reasoning first. You know, I've already left one fairy tale religion, so I'm not just going to switch factions and believe in more fairy tales. I'm gonna try to logically reason my way to these conclusions, even though they're a little bit woo-woo. And speaking of woo-woo, we're going to end all the responses with my last comment here from Ariel's. She says that she's responding to my fasting and abstinence raises your baseline and purifies your subconscious article. She says that she learned all this from her male teacher and martial arts artist of many years. She actually practiced the knowledge, and she didn't just read it off a book. It's crucial for a man to not use sex for release of power. For most people, orgasm is just a waste of valuable energy, and it goes to feed the system instead of being preserved or used for self-development. Abstinence makes men stronger. It allows to reach levels of self-development physically, energy, and spiritually unheard of by those who use sex to release or entertain themselves. For women, orgasms are much more beneficial, and it's okay for them to come many times, but only if they learn how to use and control the womb and other parts of their bodies. Orgasm can be raised from vaginal contractions up to the womb, then the womb will contract and even move inside the body. It feels like it can move all the way up to the diaphragm. That's freaking insane. And the sensation can go all the way up into our heads through the spinal cord and feels like it stays inside, whereas in normal sex it comes out. So the orgasm energy won't be wasted or fed to the physical matrix of our world. It will give power to the woman and to the man if she orgasms with one. Whew. So she backs me up there, and she even offers the female perspective, which is cool. And you know, this was all really validating to see, because these practices are so just esoteric that it's just nice to see another person outside of the circles that I study it in also confirm that I'm not completely insane for following this. So thank you very much, Ariel's. And if you guys really want to know like who I'm following for this kind of stuff, the guy named Mantak Cha, I think that's his name. I've been watching some of his stuff, and I practice some of his qigong routines. I mean, I'm still a baby with this stuff, so you know, I'm just getting there. But he also said the same thing about the uterus contractions and stuff like that. So he is very scientific with all this stuff. So he's a very interesting guy to look at. I think one of my favorite things about him is that he's always saying, like, you know, the West is starting to see this, you know, because like he's basically saying, you know, this has been ancient Chinese secrets for a long time, but the West is finally able to prove this. And that's one of my favorite things, that it's like the Eastern science, like, has always been there, and now modern science is actually backing it up. So he's a very smart guy to look for that. So yeah, thank you for all that, and thank all of you for the comments. We're done with that for today. And like I said, I'm gonna start catching up my videos, because I only have 14 right now, so I definitely need to catch up to 41. So I hope to take a break from writing articles for a while and start giving you guys a lot more content, especially since my video watchers leave a bunch of comments as well, so that's very cool. So once again, you can catch me on BitChute and MGTOW TV. That's where all the new videos are going to be coming out. And then YouTube will get the video like the second latest after that. You know, that's how I'm going to do it. So yeah, and also make sure to follow up my backup blog, just in case, you know, people come for my WordPress blog and shut my website down. I'll be on PubishOX, and once again, you can earn crypto there for reading and writing articles. And also, the Brave browser rewards you with cryptocurrency, so you should think about you should think about downloading the web browser. It doesn't sell your data. It blocks ads, scripts, and trackers. It gives you private windows with Tor, and of course it's ad-free and offers the attention-based cryptocurrency, the basic attention token. Basically, it secures all content creators from ever being demonetized, since there's no more advertisers who can be pulled, for any reason. And what else can I say? I haven't talked to you guys in a while. I've been doing the credits thing and haven't been reading it off. So I kind of miss talking to you guys. But yes, I guess I'll have links to all this in the description. Make sure to also check out the Moonbase mystery link for some extra content. If you have a topic you want me to cover, visit me at ko-fi.com, buy me a coffee. You can send me tips through PayPal as well. And also, if you have the Brave browser, you can tip my website and tip my YouTube channel directly. And so that's another way to support me for free. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. I guess I'll let the music play out just for a little bit so we can just hang out. You can just hang out. But yeah, other than that, I will see you on the far side.